I didn't eat, Joe. Joe, I didn't eat today, Joe. You know why, Joe? You want to know why? The gas, Joe. I got a car. Look at me, Joe.
Even though the economy is quite raggedy right now and inflation is ridiculously high, especially on groceries, let's be real, you was probably eating too much anyway. Hi there, welcome to my channel, Transcendent Health. My name is Michaela. Before I get started, as always, please do me a favor, hit the like button, push your girl up the algorithm, and subscribe to this channel where we go in on all things health, wellness, and faith. So if you're interested, stay tuned. So as y'all know, inflation has a lot of us in a chokehold. The economy is not doing too hot, especially when it comes to consumer goods. We're tending to have to spend a lot more. Things that we have been buying on a regular and consistent basis, we've seen it slowly creep up in prices.
This is for a case of sodas. This used to be $3 to $4. This is $9.29 for a case of sodas. Look at this, for a case of root beer, it's $11.49. A carton of eggs is $11.39. Come on with these prices, bro. For a bag of barbecue Lay's, $4.99. It's $5 for a bag of chips. It used to be $2. This is insane. This is $10 for a case of Gatorade. And they had the nerve to put buy two, get one free. You're paying $20 for 2 cases of Gatorade, man. That's insane. These used to be $4.
I just looked through my Walmart history and I found this Walmart order from 2 years ago for the whole month worth of groceries. 45 items cost $126. A whole month of groceries just for me, basically. But I did notice this reorder all button, and I wanted to see how much it would cost now. Now, this order of 45 items for 1 month would have cost $414. That is 4 times more. How? What?
Now, it is being reported, although inflation has been bad over the past couple of years, it is starting to make improvement in some areas in a lot of ways. But the fact remains is, people's bills, especially expenses on groceries, still remain astronomically high. And if you are somebody that likes to shop around like myself, I usually go to certain stores for certain things. So I may go to Target, I may go to Whole Foods, I may go to Sprouts, but even places like Walmart are just really, really high.
Can someone explain to me, inflation has been dropping, prices should be getting lower. And yet my 93 lean beef at Walmart is almost $8 now. I remember not too long ago when that stuff was like $5. It still is at Aldi's, but bro, Walmart used to be fucking cheap. What the hell is happening? Also, chicken used to be $1 a pound. It's now almost $3. Bro, I'm just trying to get jacked and handsome. Why is it so expensive? And don't even get me started with seafood. Even the fake shit is getting expensive. Yeah, we're doomed.
This is what $70 gets you at Walmart. Yep, that's it. $70.
Now, if you notice, Butterman only had a couple of items in his basket. He had some ground turkey, some chicken, a couple of canned goods, a case of water, and a couple of few choice seasonings. But that's $70 worth now. And that's supposed to last him for the entire week. He may get 1 meal out of that. But imagine the other 2 meals he needs to eat. Imagine a family going shopping, and that's all that's going to get them. These 2 videos are proof enough alone to show you that for the average person, when we go grocery shopping, we're just there to get the basics. Your poultry, meat, dairy, fish, fruits, vegetables, and a couple of seasonings to make our food taste good. And yet we are being made to spend $100+ just for 1 meal. 1 meal. And that's not even just for, an entire family. So do the math on how much the average family is having to spend each month, in addition to the stuff that you may want to get when you go to the grocery store. We're just talking about the basics. Oh, and don't be somebody that's trying to be health conscious, because if you're trying to eat organic, get the things with all the clean ingredients, yeah, you're looking about anywhere from $5 to $10. Seasonings, yes, $5 to $10, depending on where you shop. I have seen organic seasonings for that much. And it's great that we have all of these healthy alternatives, but the thing about it is, it costs more to cook with cleaner ingredients. Unfortunately, we've seen all those videos circulating over the past couple of years with, all of the foods that we grew up on and still eat today, how toxic and poisonous are the preservatives and all the additives that they have. And they have healthier options, but those things ain't cheap. I mean, for like monk fruit sweetener, which is like a healthier alternative to using sugar, you looking at, a good $6 to $10 again. Protein chips, real popular now since everybody want to be high protein, low carb, build some muscle. They taste really good, but y'all, it's only like 4 bags of chips and it costs you about $10 for the entire thing. So you definitely can't be eating those things every day. And that just goes to show you that we really need to make close attention to how much and what we are spending our money on when we go to the grocery store.
Americans just got some pretty important news about inflation. While inflation has improved significantly overall over the last year, we are still seeing insanely high grocery prices. And this fact in particular shocked me, that grocery prices are 25% higher than they were in January of 2020. And the food categories that are perhaps the most essential are the ones being most affected. Beef, chicken, fruits, and vegetables are all still really suffering. And as a result, Americans are spending the largest portion of their paycheck on food in the last 30 years. I knew it was bad, but seeing it written like that is pretty insane to me.
I mean, once upon a time, you can even make the argument that going to the grocery store, buying yourself some groceries, doing some meal prep would be a lot more cost effective than eating out every single day. But I would say that seeing as the price of food is just overall expensive no matter where you go, you will pretty much break even at this point. There is no saving money, given if you're somebody that is an extreme couponer or knows where to shop to get all the best deals, okay, props to you. We still all trying to figure it out. But I think that people's, mindset is, hell, I'm paying all of this money to survive, to pay bills, to exist. At the end of the day, hell, I want to at least be able to eat what I want to eat when I go to the grocery store, if I want to go eat out and have a nice meal. But the sad reality is, food has become a pleasure and escape for a lot of people to lessen the pain of what we are all experiencing right now. Of course, not only do we eat food to survive and for nourishment to our bodies, but we do eat food for comfort, and it should be a pleasurable experience. All I'm saying is we really need to think long and hard and evaluate the way that we are spending on food and the way that we view food. And that's a hard thing to do, considering we've kind of been wired to overeat and overconsume in general. But in the same way that we should be detaching from this world, you might want to think long and hard about detaching from your stomach as well, because we no longer can afford to overeat or overspend excessively.
In 2024, we're no longer putting our money where our mouth is. Overeating is hella expensive. Not only is it hitting our pockets, but it's also costing us health-wise. And we need to have our minds and bodies as sharp as possible in order to make money. Hell, in order to even spend the money that we're making, we need to be healthy and whole. Some of us can spend $100-some in one night and one weekend eating one meal. And then some of us, not me, but some of us might be even putting it on a credit card and not paying the credit card off, costing you even more in interest. Talk about you getting credit card points. Girl, be for real. And no, eating out does not save you any money. I'm sorry. I think it do, but it don't. And I'm not gonna lie to you, my largest budget line expense after mortgage is food. And I don't even have any kids to feed, so I can only imagine what you guys are going through to have kids.
Now, let's keep it real. We've all had those days where we have all but 10 to 15 bucks left in our bank account, and we're tired, we're hangry, we had a long day, and so what do? We make our way to the Wendy's drive-thru and spend our last on a meal. And there's no shame in that, because that is the reality for so many different families right now, having to make ends meet and try to do what they can do to eat and put food on the table. I mean, I personally know couples that have skipped a meal just so their kids could eat. So no, putting food or eating out is not the ideal, putting it on a credit card. But what are people supposed to do? They gotta eat, they gotta survive. And just like Homeboy said in a couple of videos, even the fake food, even the junk food that used to be cheap back in the day, is no longer cheap. And so why continue to spend your money on these things when, number one, is not nourishing to your body and it's probably going to leave you with pre-diabetes later on down the line, and two, you could be putting that extra money towards something else You feel me? Hello, shrinkflation. Let's talk about how these companies are reducing their portion sizes, but keeping their prices the same or overcharging.
Five chips.
Now, I believe a lot of the reason why people tend to overconsume and overeat on food is because people have a lack of understanding of general nutrition. And so, like, at the very basic, most people should be eating around 2,000 calories a day. Now, this is going to vary between both men and women. So for women, it ranges anywhere from 1,600 to 2,400 calories a day. And for men, it's going to be, 2,000 to 3,000 calories. And things like your age, your activity levels, things like that are going to play into just how much food you can metabolically afford to eat. And that's the thing, because most people are not, physically active enough to where they can afford to be eating how they're eating. Now, in addition to paying attention to your daily caloric intake, you're also going to want to pay close attention to your 1, portion sizes, and 2, your macronutrient ratios. So macronutrients are essentially nutrients that make up a healthy diet. So your fats, your carbohydrates, and your proteins. And you especially want to pay attention to these things because, one, when people eyeball food, they assume that if it's a smaller portion size, oh, well, I'm not eating that much and, it's healthy. But you can easily overeat even on healthy foods, and you can undereat on, the wrong foods. It can go either way, which is why, I'm not somebody that adamantly, suggesting to track your calories all the time. But I feel like everybody at some point needs to, because you can easily overeat. And when you're constantly eating out, getting grab and go things, most of the portion sizes are out of pocket, especially those for us who live in Texas, where we know the portion sizes are crazy. Yes, due to our ridiculous portion sizes, along with our overconsumption of processed foods, has lessened people's desire to be intentional about healthy eating. And in addition to that, we also have to look at how conveniency has led most families to eat their meals outside of the home. Whereas if we were to compare, say, the 1950s, where women were afforded the opportunity to be in the house still, cook, clean, make healthy, nutritious meals, with women being in the workforce now, and even just the economy being so bad, most parents have to work not 1 but 2 jobs and a side hustle just to stay afloat. Don't get me wrong, I definitely have weeks where I fall off with meal prepping, and as much as I hate pulling out my little scale and measuring our portion sizes, it has brought a lot of awareness as to just how out of pocket my portion sizes were and just how much I overeat and struggle with overeating in general. And I think if people would take the time to do this for like a month, not like a forever type thing, it will bring a lot of self-awareness, a lot of mindfulness to, how much you consume food. It really just comes down to being intentional, being mindful, having structure and discipline with your eating. You don't have to be super restrictive or do any crazy diets, but you do need to be mindful, especially in this hour, of the amount of food that you're consuming, because let's not forget, the sin of gluttony does exist. As much as people don't like to preach on it, eating beyond your means does us no benefits to our bodies. And if anything, it makes you tired, lethargic, and not being able to fully function like the Lord wants you to fully function. So with that being said, let's start 2025 off healthier, better, disciplined, all that. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
This ain't enough. Make it enough.